Alright, so here's what happened. At the recent Screven County Commission meeting, commissioners went to executive session to discuss some issue, and they came back, and the chairman, Will Boyd, called for a vote on the executive meeting minutes. And Commissioner Allison Willis was like, are we voting on minutes from before, or are we voting on minutes from now? And that's when the yelling started.
Okay. So we're not supposed to get them in writing? I just noticed that like every month we don't get them in writing, so I'm just kind of wondering exactly what it is we're approving. If it's not in writing, we don't have the opportunity to review it before we approve it.
I don't know. I didn't know you wrote
You never
it.
review it, you don't review, you just approve them, and then, because they're not open to the public. You don't review, you just approve them, and then, because they're not open to the public.
What?
You don't review, you just approve them, and then, because they're not open to the public.
That's a bold move. I'm not sure I'd proclaim that with such certainty.
And you were there.
Oh man, that was freaking hilarious. I almost fell off the chair. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt here, but I have never been to a county commission meeting or a city council meeting where they did not wait until the next meeting to approve the executive session minutes, because then it gave the time for the clerk or county administrator or city manager or whomever to draft the minutes and make sure they're correct themselves and then present them to the elected officials for approval. One could even go as far as to say that it's the norm, because that is what ACCG and GMA and Robert's Rules of Order and other things like that recommend.
I mean, I know, but if she puts them in writing, I don't know what she's putting in writing, and if that's technically what we're approving, then I haven't had a chance to review it before we approve it.
Seems reasonable. So it makes you wonder why they acted like it was the most ridiculous thing they'd ever heard.
Basically, the executive session minutes just state exactly what was on the form, that you just have it checked just like that.
Okay, well, I oppose it.
Executive session minutes actually have a little bit more than just what's on the form. They are supposed to include who was present, whether they're elected or not. They're supposed to include the issues that were discussed, the issues that were voted on, who makes the motions, and then how people vote. And we've all heard of a time when a clerk or somebody, the secretary, whomever is responsible, gets it wrong because they're human. So that's why the participating people are supposed to review the minutes so that they can make sure they're right. So then there's this backwards attempt to make Commissioner Willis agree to the minutes because she signed the affidavit from executive session. Or at least they think she did.
Signed the form, didn't you? Nope. Did you sign the executive form?
I was told that we're not supposed to sign it.
Well, 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 if it isn't the old O.C.G.A. It literally says in the code section that the chair or the presiding officer in the absence of the chair is responsible for executing the affidavit. It says that. O.C.G.A. So in Georgia, we operate on the honor system, which I can assure you does not always work out all that well for we the people. However, in Screven County, they have decided that everyone is supposed to sign the affidavit, even though it says here that it's the chair's responsibility to make sure that not only are the rules followed, but to attest.
I told you I've been here 100 years. I didn't get well, anyway, I need a motion to approve the minutes from the executive session. So be it. Commissioner Triplett, Commissioner Romeo, second. All in favor? Motion carries. Opposed? Zala? Now we have any other business come before us?
In the future, it might be best that if the commissioner believes that they cannot sign the minutes of the executive session, they should not be in the executive session.
Good for that, too.
All right, sir. First of all, nobody asked you. Second, I guess after all these years of serving as the county attorney, you have forgotten that you are supposed to be seen and not heard, and you shouldn't speak unless spoken to, because you are not elected. And unless there's something that has to do with the law, that they're breaking the law, or they're in danger or close or on that line of breaking the law, you really don't have any voice. Third, and if anyone knows this one, it's me, if you're gonna speak out of turn, you best be right. And Mr. Reeves, you're dead wrong on this one. But there's something more. The fact that it's a felony would prompt just about anybody to want to see the information before they put their name on it, right? Because if you can be charged with a felony offense, face up to 5 years in prison for false swearing, and face a $1,000 fine, all of this is outlined in the law, then certainly you want to know what you're placing your name on, right? Also, what kind of lawyer suggests that you should sign something you haven't seen? Oh, and by the way, Commissioner Willis is correct. The law says, as does the ACCG manual on how to be a county commissioner, which apparently several people need to go back and review, it says that the chair conducts the meetings. The chair conducts and attests to and executes the affidavits for the executive sessions. The law allows counties to adopt a policy if they want to have everybody do it, but that's not required. And since this policy has never been brought up, I'm assuming Screven County doesn't have one. Now, it's totally possible that, like several times before that we've seen, they will say, well, we did adopt a policy many years ago, we just can't find it, but it's sure somewhere, so let's just pretend that it's a real thing. Whatever. I'm sure that they could say that. But for all intents and purposes, there is no such policy, and Commissioner Willis is correct. Also, that little book about how to be a county commissioner, which you can literally find on Google, perhaps a little more time reading it and a little less time giggling.